Alright, well, welcome everybody that's in the stream. How are you guys all today? We're doing a different POV today. Instead of you guys seeing me create, you can be a straight up close on blinging this planter. So I've been working on quite a few different projects, you guys. And I would like to say, like, over winter time, I think I want to say there's definitely been like evolution on what can we add to the business. You see what I'm saying? Because I do feel like certain merch that I have is not all year round merchandise. And I was like, you know what? Let's tap into. There we go. Can you guys see? Okay, awesome. Let's tap into something different. As you guys all know, I am new to this whole bedazzling and the blinging merch out, but it's been a vibe though because I've definitely got quite a few orders in. You know, I was trying to figure out a way that'd be best to sit here online and you guys can just see what I'm doing. And I think we got it. I actually was gonna like look out and try to get a tripod that would be reversed, but I was like, why do that? And I literally have a stand right here. So my awesome friend of mine was like, girl, just turn the freaking camera around. Oh yeah, my bad. So there's that. I want to say that I will start having the water bottles and the planters and the stash jars available um, by the end of January. I want to have a nice collection first for people to pick through and shop from before I just come out with, hey guys, here's the water bottle, wait for the next one. You know, definitely a person I like variety. I like to be able to choose. Oop, there we go. All right, so I'm using E6000, but I'm using the cousin of E6000, if that makes sense. Where is it? Okay, so it's like E6000, but this is the quick hold, and it literally dries faster, and it's way thinner. Why am I not using a blinging pen? Because for some reason I feel like the wax just works better like this, being able to pick it up. I have been looking into the bedazzling pins, but I don't really know if I really need that because it seems like you got one tool to grab stuff, and then you got another tool to do all the other extra stuff, and I'm like, bruh, I literally can do all that with one situation and not have to worry about the losing tools and stuff like that. Like I have this tool right here, where one side's pointy and another side's the brush. I guess I kind of use it, but not really, because once again, as you can see, I just really use the wax crayon. For those of you that are new or thinking y'all want to do bedazzling, if you have the time and the patience, then absolutely I'd say go for it. The fact that I'm so new to this, I kind of feel like you don't have to buy a million wax pens. You see what I'm saying? This is literally a colored pencil. That's all it is. It's a colored pencil. And I don't really think it matters what colored pencil you use, as long as you can pick up and grip and do this. You see what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and say, hey, I spent $100 on bedazzling stuff. Not at all. At least not yet, anyways. Rather, I haven't hit that number as far as buying rhinestones. So there's that. I've been looking into buying in bulk because all the little blinging kits are adorable, but a person like me, I'm gonna run through those in like a day. When I tell you that I have an inventory of stash jars and water bottles already lined up, I'm so serious. And I was like, you know what? We've got to do the planters. I've done one water bottle so far off the new line and sold two already. So this is really interesting for me because, as you guys already know, I design jewelry. I design waist beads and beaded door curtains, okay? But this is actually really therapeutic. This is very calming. And I love how creative we can get with these. You know, I've definitely been doing my homework on looking at so many different types of bedazzling situations, and everybody has their own way of doing stuff, you know? Uh-oh. Okay, I guess we'll rock with that one. And with that glue I just showed you, you gotta be on your stuff. You can't just like put it down and walk off because it's gonna get hard really fast. And I actually like the fast setting situations because if I'm holding this, and I gotta rotate it as I go. I don't want to have to hold on to it and then it's like glue on my hand, you know? Totally unnecessary. I tried using gloves like other people, and then it turns into a mess. So I guess shout out to the people that bedazzle with gloves on, but that is like really tedious for me. And then once your finger gets stuck, now you're sitting here fighting the glove, and I'm like, no. I kind of feel like I should paint my fingernails, but at the same time, I do so much manual labor. Like, should I really, you know? Okay, so the big ones are kind of hard to pick up. That's alright though. This is actually rather fun. I'm not even gonna hold you guys. At first, it's so crazy how things happen as far as evolution, you know? I remember getting on YouTube, like, hey, we're gonna just vibe out while I bling my bead spinner right there. And then while I was blinging out the bead spinner, people were like, oh my gosh, I would like for you to make X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, oh, I can, you know, I definitely can. That's definitely not a problem. So I love how sometimes things turn into beautiful mistakes that turn into great situations. Oh, that's too big. And I'm still learning my sizes. But I will say that I do like the clutter. I like the clutter effect, the honeycomb effect. Sorry. I guess there's different styles on how to add your jewels on your flat back rhinestone. Sorry, let me use a correct wordplay here for anybody who's like, what should I be doing? But these are flat back rhinestones that I'm using. As you see, they're all sizes. I guess 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 mm or whatever. I'm not exactly sure, but the bag that I got, it's actually okay. Story time, real quick. So my daughter wanted to do bedazzling, and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, as long as it keeps you focused and not, not in trouble. She's 11. So I bought her this huge bag of bedazzling, lovely rhinestones here. I didn't know that they were gonna come all jumbled up, but it's like a 3 pound, 4 pound bag of all kinds of rhinestones. So at first, she was actually doing really good, but she's a procrastinator, and I don't like procrastinators. If you saying you about to start a business and I'm advertising for you and you're getting customers lined up, then I feel like you should be on your job, regardless that you're a kid, because this is something you've been asking for months and months and months. So I bought all the bedazzling stuff for her, and I literally made it make sense so nobody was spending $1 million on bedazzling situations. And she kind of like did like 2 headbands and part of a water bottle and gave up. And I was super annoyed as a parent because nobody just buys stuff for free. You know, like money doesn't grow on trees. But we also know kids try and start a million hobbies and stick with 0 or 1. So, okay, cool. Since you're sitting here playing around with the glue and you don't know what you're doing and you getting the glue stuck on all this other stuff, I took the rhinestones back. Like, I'm good. You could find something else. So now she's into crocheting and been doing her big one with the crocheting. So I think that's going to be her niche now because she's starting to realize that there's so many people from all ages and colors that do crocheting. You see what I'm saying? I've even seen YNs with a ski mask on, bedazzling and knitting on TikTok and YouTube. So I definitely shout out to all the crafters. You know, whether you got mask on or not. So I think she kind of found her niche or whatever the case is. So with that being said, I had the bag of bedazzling stuff down here for a year. I ain't gonna hold you. It's been like a year. I had all pounds and pounds and pounds of rhinestones just sitting there. Glue, rhinestones, the thingy, all the stuff you go with it. So mind you, I wasn't into bedazzling. I designed jewelry. So for the longest, I come to find out, long story short, I done gave away I done gave away stuff you need for this, like those pencils, the little trays y'all be seeing people use when you shake the tray and all the flat backs go the right side up. I had gave all that stuff away to a person on TikTok, thinking I was helping them with their life story. Obviously, it didn't turn out that way. I'm not mad, but I know I got my wings for being nice and trying to help somebody start their business. You feel me? Like I literally had to sit down and be like, Jordan, you can't be sitting here helping people who's not really trying to, like, that's out here for a handout. You see what I'm saying? I'm all for helping people, but you gotta help yourself first. You know? I don't really care for people that do that pity party stuff because at the same time you on here asking and talking, you could be sitting here getting yourself together. So there's that. I definitely feel like I did my big one with that individual, helping them on TikTok, trying to elevate their business. But then at the same time, I got burned in the end, you know? So Ryan still sitting in the shop. Ryan still look, a whole year later, Ryan still sitting in the shop. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I'm at the Rochester Public Market one day, right? Vibing, doing my own thing. There's a vendor next to me that's selling bedazzled water bottles, like blinged out water bottles, Stanley water bottles of all sizes and shapes. She is charging like 150 and up, you guys, for these water bottles. And I'm like, bro, that's crazy work. And people were buying them like hotcakes. So I see her doing her big one. Mind you, I'm not bedazzling or nothing. I never thought about bedazzling. I could care less about it at that time. So I'm like, hey, homegirl, I love your work. I love what you're doing. Can you make me can you design like if I design it or tell you the colors I want, can you make it? She said, yeah, sure, no problem, I guess. When I say how she said it and the demeanor of her body language was like, oh, I really don't want to fuck with you type shit, but I guess since you asked and there was other people around. So she like gave me a business card, but she didn't sit here and give me the spiel like she did everybody else that was actual customers. And I mean, I read body language, you guys. I'm not stupid. So I'm like, dang, okay, if you really didn't want to do it, you could have just said no. That's fine. I'm not tripping. You could have said no. I would have found somebody else. So since her delivery was not on point at all and very rude, I just left it alone. I'm not gonna argue with nobody about your craft. Like if you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. Just say no. It's okay. You're grown. You don't have to say yes. So for like 2-3 weeks, you guys, I was literally online looking for like a bedazzling person to like do a water bottle for me because I wanted my business logo on it and everything, right? Very demure, very like I wanted a conversational piece. A conversational piece is when you have something where it makes everybody stop and be like, "Girl, what is that? Ooh, let's talk about it," you know? Or who did that? Or where'd you get it from? Type of stuff. I'm a kind of person that's quietly loud. I like stuff. I like what I like. You know, we're not gonna get into that, but I'm quietly loud. I'm gonna be quiet with it, but you're gonna know that is a situation. You know, like in a good way. So with the water bottle, I already have a gigantic thermos with the cup included. You see what I'm saying? And I'm like, hey, I got this type of cup. You don't gotta go look for it. I would love this bedazzled. When I called this lady, she literally she blocked me on her phone. She blocked me, bro, like off the rip, and I don't even know her. You got a potential customer, mind you. I have kids, so I was gonna be like, bro, if she did my water bottle lit, I would have been like, hey kids, I'll buy each one of y'all for one for Christmas. I didn't tell the lady that because that's none of her business. I just wanted to see how her work was, and I was impressed. I liked it. Oh, shoot, hold on. I probably gotta put some more glue right here. Yep. All right. So anyway, so yeah, I liked her work, so I didn't have a problem with it. I called her. She put me. I automatically got sent to voicemail. So I was like, oh, maybe she's just like on the phone or something. I'll call back later. Call back later. Went straight to the voicemail. All right, cool. Ma'am, either you're gonna come to the market and I'm gonna see you, or I'm never gonna see you again because some vendors come and some people don't. Not everybody's consistent at the market. So with that being said, I see her the next week, like, hey, I was calling you all week trying to put an order in. This lady literally like looked at me from my ankles up to my forehead and back to my ankles and was like, yeah, I'm good. I don't want to do it. I don't feel like it. Say less. I wasn't even mad. I wasn't even mad at her because obviously it's your business. You do what you want. Either you do it, either you take the client or you don't. Okay, cool. So either way, still looking for a bedazzler. Still looking for a bedazzler. Man, I don't know. We'll look for so many bedazzlers and ask people, and they taking too long to get back, or they're so overwhelmed that I ended up learning the craft myself. Hello. One thing I learned in life, even as a youngster, uh, do it yourself if you want it done. Okay. It's wonderful to try to ask for help and network and go to other people and all that. But if they're being rude, you don't got to sit there and deal with that. And then on top of that, also, if they're acting like they don't really want your business, you don't gotta sit here and beg nobody. Don't never beg nobody for nothing, because at the end of the day, you'll surprise yourself on how well you can adapt and do it your own self. You see what I'm saying? Because now look at me, bro. This done started into a whole situation. This has started into a whole nother branch on my business, and I actually love it. This is very therapeutic. This is very therapeutic. I feel like I work a lot, and even though this is supposed to be a hobby of mine, it's turning into a job. Hmm. It's turning into a job, and I'm not upset. This is actually rather fun. I actually think this is like the work of art. You see what I'm saying? You can actually design whatever you want. And once again, these are mini planters. These are mini planters. All right, so that's one thing when you're bedazzled, you gotta remember where you were at. So when you put the glue down, you're not wasting glue. I am gonna get the underlying spot part down here if you can see it, where that gap part is. I will be getting to that in a little bit, but we're gonna get to the top right here. I think I might get into doing phone cases, but I'm not exactly sure. I'm really debating on that because I'm actually like I like the planters. The idea for the planters and the water bottles are a vibe. I really don't want to put too much on my plate because I already designed waist beads and beaded curtains. And I'm just kind of little. I'm like literally tickled pink though that I learned a new hobby and I love it. Like this is actually fun. All right, come on. There we go. All right. So then another trick that I learned also, so your glue or your beads aren't or your bedazzling situation aren't sliding nowhere, is when you put the glue on, let it sit for 30 seconds, and then it gets a little hard, and then once you don't have to worry about having to fight with your stones here. And then I just push that in right there so it doesn't get all over my hands because nobody has time for that. All right, so another thing that I also wanted to chit chat was about today. I just did a new live earlier today on TikTok, and I was asking the people like, "What do you prefer?" So they were, y'all, the people were saying that, beads in the morning and then bedazzling in the evening, something different. A lot of people only know me for waist beads and beaded jewelry, and I really wanted to step outside the box. So what else? Okay, I will not be at the Rochester Public Market this weekend. I will be having the bead room open, so I will be advertising for that. I definitely wanted to go live and vibe out with you guys because I will have to go use ChatGPT and create a flyer, which it's basically gonna be like, hey, it's too cold outside. Come on in and get warm and shop as you please. So I probably will be having a buy two get one free sale going on for Saturday. Okay. All right. So there we go with the tip right there. It's coming along quite nice. And then I just go back and push them in. Make sure they're in the glue, in the setting, you know? Once again, I do like the E6000. Um, that E5000 is cool too. I haven't had any issues with it. But this, the quick hold, I'll show you again. Definitely works really nice. This is new for me, so it does turn on, it does dry clear, okay, and it definitely holds well for just about everything. Yes, I'm streaming right now, but what's up?
Yeah, that's why I need to shoes on.
Yeah, you good? What's up?
Did you get that text from my teacher? She like the email from my teacher about the glasses.
I will check the email. I haven't checked my email yet.
Okay.
All right.
Cause she asked me today like do like with the glasses thing.
Okay, we'll talk about that when I get off stream. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. So we're gonna do this area right here. I kind of feel like I like it when it goes all the way to the end right there versus how it looks like that. It kind of look to me it looks tacky. Like if you don't do that part right there, I feel like you gotta just go away all the way up to the end because it's a potter plant. You know, you want it to be very demure. You want it to be very, very, very nice. I don't play when it comes to creating anything, okay? Because listen, if you're gonna go hard all the way. It don't make no sense to try to half-ass something and then sell it like here you go, and it's like, bruh. Okay. I haven't done a double stream in a little bit because my energy, you guys, has been like real unpredictable lately. And normally when I be up, I'd be on, I'd be up. So kind of think it's about to be that time of the month where my energy is being depleted and whatnot. All right, so as you guys see, I'm doing the top. I'm doing a very tippy top. We're doing it in, I guess you want to call it cluster form. Then sure. But that definitely was my story time on how I got into bedazzling because I already know people are like, "Yo, just last week you wasn't doing this. I was just said I wasn't about to start a new adventure at all." But life is unpredictable. Life is very unpredictable. You never know. You can sit here and say you're not gonna do X, Y, and Z, or go X, Y, and Z, end up somewhere totally different. And yes, I'm using a Crayola crayon. Yes, I am. And no, I'm not being cheap. It's the fact that it works better. I love when people ask me that question. I'm like, girl, is that a crayon? Yep, it sure is. I kind of feel like you'll make out way cheaper by just buying a box of dollar crayons and you'll be good. Like, I've literally been using the same crayon and it's like the fourth project, you guys. Okay, so there we go. I love that. Alright, I will be doing longer streams in the evening for the bedazzling. I'm probably going to can back up maybe in about, what time is it? I don't even know what time it is. Oh, it's 4:19. Yeah, so I'll be back on stream about 8 p.m. tonight. All right, you guys. So here, this was a quick live on doing the tip and the edges of the mini planter here. Okay, and I'll be working on more of this in the edges coming up soon. And as you see where the gaps are around here, I do have a customer that is literally just pulling up right now to the shop. So I will talk to you guys later on today, and we will work on more of the bedazzled planter. All right, catch you guys later. Be safe.